Okay, time to get ready with a new week of sales. I have sales for Saturday, Sunday, Monday to go over. Very quiet weekend. I have 11 sales to go over with you, and the platform that I had the most sales on, I can say for the first time in a really long time, was Depop, which I don't know what's happening. Let's get into these. For the most part, these are pretty good sales, and a lot of them, I should say a lot of them, some of them moved pretty quickly. First was an item that my dad had found. These were from J. Crew. They were the men's 770 khakis in a 3330. These were $1 at his local thrift shop, and when I looked up the men's 770s on eBay, they had a really good sell-through rate. So for $1 and for a good size, I was very happy to pick those up. After 29 days, I got a $20 offer on Poshmark, which I accepted, so I made $15. Next was a very fast sale. This sold in 4 days. I have been sourcing on Whatnot, and I was in a show that had $1 starts, and I kind of realized no one was bidding on anything Lily Pulitzer, and they kept pulling XL Lily Pulitzer out. So I was getting Lily Pulitzer for $1. My average cost of goods though in this specific order I made was $4.83 because I averaged out my cost of goods, which also included the shipping. Like I said, listed 4 days, and I got a $28 offer on Poshmark for this. So I made $17.57. I have been very happy with being able to use Whatnot to compensate for my inability to be in person sourcing at the moment. Next was not a great sale. This was another Poshmark sale, and this was one that my Vendoo had made. This was a top from the Soma Weekend line. It was a women's extra large, and I had $250 into this top. I had picked it up because it was 100% Pima cotton, and it was a really nice top, but I don't think I would have picked this up today. Like I said, somebody liked it on my Poshmark, and my Vendoo sent them an offer for $14, so I made $8.55. Next was a pretty surprising sale. This was from the brand Korye, K-O-R-Y-E. I had found this not long ago on the 75% off rack at my local thrift shop, and I picked it up because I really like the style of it. It had more of that like oversized like batwing style look to it. It felt like a springtime sweater, but it also did have a wool blend. So it had a bunch of factors that made me want to pick it up. It was $1.25, and after 38 days, I got a $20 offer on Depop. This one did sell promoted, and actually all of my Depop orders have sold promoted, is what I will say. And I made $15.76 on kind of a intuition pickup on this one. Next was such a good sale. Okay, let me say that this is also from the same Whatnot show that I got the Lily Pulitzer. This was Peter Millar, and this was actually the first thing I bought in this show because it was a men's Peter Millar summer comfort. And I know the summer comfort doesn't sell for a lot, but it does. It's probably their most popular line of polos. So I was like, for $1, let me try. And no one bid against me. This one had all these fan boats on it. And I was like, I couldn't see that in the Whatnot show. So when I got it, I was like, oh, this is pretty cool. I came to find out that this is the Everglades collection or something. And the sale, the comps on these shirts were so crazy. It had the Top of the Rock golf club on it too, which my husband Scott looked it up and he was like, oh, that's like a really popular golf course. And I was like, I don't know anything about golf. So I was like, what do I have here? So I priced it high. And after 3 days, I think I priced it around 48. And after 3 days on eBay, I got a $40 offer on this. So like I had said earlier, my average cost of goods in that show was $4.83, and I wound up making $28.56 on a Peter Millar polo, which I don't think that is a very common occurrence, but I will definitely be on the lookout now for like the special like graphics for sure. But if you see one with fan boats, pick it up. This was a full price sale on Depop, which that never happens. This was from J. Crew Factory. And again, this was something I'd found on the 75% off rack. It was a linen cotton blend pull-on black skirt. It was more of a mini style. It was a size 4. I had $1.50 into this. It had been listed 261 days, but it sold for my full asking price of $21 on Depop. Like I said, sold promoted, and I made $16.43 on that. Next was not a great sale. This was something that had sold from a reseller buyout I had done. I wasn't familiar with the brand. I think it's called Connie Gold. It didn't seem like anything really special. I mainly listed it because I think it was a men's 3X, which that's not the most common size I find when I'm outsourcing. I had $1.54 into each item from this buyout. It had been listed 185 days. I got an $11 offer on eBay, which I accepted, so I made $6.95. Next was another really fast good sale. This was something my sister-in-law had given me. She was cleaning out her closet, and it was the tiniest little aloe top. It was like it almost gave you like the ballet vibes. It was like a cross front little cropped piece. It was really cute, but what I noticed is I think this is the first item that has sold on Depop for me under the new promoted listing things, because my promoted listing fee on this one was $4.09, which is much higher than I'm used to. Because I think they said anything that was promoted under the old fees would stay, but like anything that was newly listed would sell under the newer fee structure. Regardless, this was still a good sale because I had nothing into it. And after 3 days, it sold for my full asking price, so a second full asking price on Depop of $34.99, and I made $28.86 on that top. I don't find aloe ever, so that was actually an exciting one to have her give to me. Next was something that had been sitting a while, but I can see how this would be something that would sell in the springtime. It was from Athleta. It was a crop top, but almost like a sports bra style crop top. It was a size small and it was a really light purple. I had $3.99 into this. It had been listed 279 days and I got an offer on eBay for $23. This one sold promoted. I do promote everything in my closet at 2% on eBay. And I wound up making $14.08. Next was a Vinted sale. I say this, I feel like every time I have a Vinted sale, but at one point Vinted was added onto Vendoo and I was able to cross list. They had it as a beta to test for users and I really like it. There are no fees at all, and Vinted updated their software to make it that you could not cross-list into their software anymore. So basically I have what I have listed over there and it's available for sale, but I can't add unless I literally go into their website and upload straight there. And as far as my time, that's not worth my time when it comes to cross-listing. This one was a bowed-in dress. It was a navy blue dress, size 8. It had pockets. It was such a nice dress. This is the type of thing where if it had been in my size, I would have kept it 100%. I had $6.99 into it, probably too much to pay for this. It was listed 277 days and I got a $20 offer on Vinted. And like I said, no fees, so I made $13.01. The last was another surprising sale. This one was a sale my Vendoo had made on my Depop, and like I said, another promoted sale, but I will take it because I was shocked. I thought we were done selling velvet for the season, but we are not. This was from Bloom Chic. I have never picked up Bloom Chic before. This was like a test try for me, and it actually didn't sell too bad, so maybe I will keep an eye on it in the future. It was black. It had velvet burnout. It had poofy sleeves. It had a lot of factors going for it. It was a size 12 and I had $4.99 into it. Someone liked it on my Depop, so my Vendoo sent them a 10% off offer for $26.09, which was accepted, so I made $17.42. Not a bad start to the week overall, even though sales are slow. I'm happy to see some of the older things moving, but also some good sales on fast flips, so. So I just had another really exciting sale from something I purchased on Whatnot, and I'm very excited to show you guys. I have been saying this for a while, especially in a lot of my recap videos from 2025, that the Victoria's Secret pink line, when it has the bling, it sells well for me. This was such a fun find. I found these in a show where the starts were $4 each. This is a pair of black sweatpants. This side is just plain. Now I will say I think it's a good thing that this was not like the more tapered ankle and that it was just the plain traditional wide leg. But this side had all down this leg love pink, which I tried really hard to make sure even for the cover photo like that I had this really well displayed in it. And on top of it, this was a 2XL. So a fantastic find for only $4. So in this show, my average cost of goods, once everything was combined with the shipping, was $5.89 a piece, which I would have paid $6 for these at the thrift shop. These were only listed 2 days, and on eBay they sold for my full asking price of $34.99. And I made a profit of $23.09. So honestly, do not sleep on this blinged out stuff. And even better that it was a wide leg, great size. I did really try to look it over. It doesn't seem to be missing any rhinestones. So I was happy to have this sale stay because it's been really quiet otherwise. After a really, really slow eBay week last week, I finally feel like maybe we're back, because I have 3 eBay sales to go over. 2 that came through last night that I already shipped out and 1 that is here. Actually, what's really funny, all 3 of these items are Y2K pieces. I didn't even realize that till right now. But all of these are pieces that have been sitting basically since last summer, but 2 of these sales were really good. So let's just let's just get into it. This first item was a pair of shorts. I had nothing into these shorts. Last spring, I had gotten on Facebook Marketplace a bunch of bags of clothing from someone who was basically cleaning out their attic, getting ready to move. And it turned out to be like all her clothes from when she was in high school. I've made incredible money on these pieces. This is one of those last items that's been just sitting around. The brand was called T5 Denim. They were a pair of little tiny shorts. Actually, on the back pockets, they had these like cutouts of stars. They have been sitting 375 days. On eBay, I got a $12 offer, which I accepted, so I made $9.36. And I had a full price sale on eBay, which was very exciting. This is from Polo Ralph Lauren. This had the older tag. They were from like the Y2K era. They were a size 44, like chino short, and I had found these on a 99-cent tag, color tag. I guess they had just been sitting because they were a bigger size and they had just been sitting. I was kind of surprised no one had picked them up at 99 cents. They had been sitting 273 days, so since last July, but they sold for my full asking price of $29.99 and I made $23.65. Now with vintage older pieces, there's always that chance that it's going to sit for a while, but a lot of the times when it does sit, I do find that it's worth it, and this is one of those items. I could not find anything else like this exact piece on the resale market, so I really did stick it out and hold out, and I got a great offer today. So this is a, I don't know if this is considered micro mini. It's borderline micro mini. So it's a khaki colored skirt. This is from Levi's. It is a size 5, so it is juniors. And where does it say? So if you look, okay, let's see if I can get this right there. July, right there. 7/5, right? 07, oh no, 07/06 means July 2006. That's when this skirt is from. So it is a very authentic mini Y2K Levi's skirt. I actually paid up for this skirt. I paid $5.99 at the thrift shop for it, but I did because I was like, it's very unique, it's very on trend, and like I said, there was nothing like it on the resale market. But it has been listed 294 days. It's been relisted a few times. I've just been holding out, and now that we're getting into the right season, this morning I got a $30 offer on it, which I was glad to accept, so I made $18.71. So I actually really like shopping on Depop. I shop from Depop a lot. I feel like I get some of the best deals on Depop too. The only thing is the shipping prices are not good. So I'm still really hoping that when the eBay sale eventually goes through, they will kind of fix that. 2 or so weeks ago, I found a Depop seller who was clearly just like clearing out her closet, and I bought so much from her closet. I kept 1 or 2 things, but everything else I did relist. And the first item from that haul sold. Everything she posted was like a picture, a very unclear picture of things on the floor. So I was really going in hoping that I was finding good stuff, and this is the first thing that sold. This is a brown pair of a wider leg pants, and the brand is called London Jeans, but the reason I bought them is they are 100% linen. They are size medium, and they are a linen, brown and linen, and the brand wasn't really gonna matter. This might be an older brand, I'm not really sure. These had only been listed 5 days. My average cost of goods from everything in this Depop order, after what I paid for each item, plus the Depop fee and I think I had to pay like $13 or so for shipping, actually only came out to $6.04 per item, and I got some really good stuff. So these have been listed 5 days. I got an offer on Depop today for $23.99. It did sell boosted. I did accept that, and I made $13.61, and I did not have to do anything except source on my phone. It was fantastic. I don't usually film this time of day, so I'm going to have like a lot of light coming in on this side, so hopefully that's not too distracting, because I want to go over and finish off the rest of my sales I had for this week. Let me scoot over here. I do have 8 more sales to go over that I wasn't able to go through with you guys this week. This first item that sold was from my very first ever ThredUp rescue box. I got the athletic wear box, but I specifically got it with the sizes large and extra large only. And this is the first thing to sell. This is the lowest priced item I sold. It's called so it's from Athleta, and it's called their Ultimate Mesh Tee. This had good comps. However, I will say some of the elastic was like fraying a little The shirt was in good condition except this one little like thing. It was on the inside of the shirt too. Regardless, like because of that flaw, I wanted to price it low to move it fast, and this actually sold for my full asking price the day it was listed. That doesn't happen too frequently. My average cost of goods for each item from the ThredUp box was $4.66, which I'm still questioning whether or not I am good with that box or not. I don't know if I would get it again. I really have to see how some of the bigger ticket items from the box do, because there are some items in that box that I was like, I decided I'm not even listing. I listed for $17.99 and it sold the same day on eBay. So I made $9.98. If I was at a store, I would not have paid $4.66 for that t-shirt. Next is on fast sale. Also, this was something my mom had found from XCVI. She found these green pants in a size medium. These had very consistent selling comps, not for like a large amount, but they did have good comps. I had $5 into these from her local thrift shop. I listed them for $30 because I was seeing $25 sales a lot on eBay. So after 6 days, I got a $25 offer on Poshmark, which I accepted. So I made $15 on those. Next is a lower sale. So this was something I had gotten on Whatnot. It was from Eileen Fisher, and it was a 100% silk tank top, and it was their washable silk. It was a size small, but it had some markings on it, and I did try like once to get out the markings, and they didn't come out the first time, and I wasn't like invested enough to try harder. This was from a show. I think it was a $3 start show, and nobody bid against me on this. So my average cost of goods from this show was $4.77. It was listed 7 days, and I got a $20 offer on eBay, which I think I only listed it for $23, thinking I'd get around $20 anyway, which I accepted. This one sold promoted, and I made $10.78. Next is a crazy sale. This was another international sale on Vinted. I see like the lighting. We're gonna have problems. Okay. This was an older Anthropologie tag. It was like this like little red triangle Anthropologie tag. I don't know. It gave like the mid 2010s vibe, this little top. It was like a mixed media, high-low hem t-shirt. I got this on the 75% off rack at my local thrift shop for $1.50. It was a women's size small. It had been listed 175 days, and on Vinted I got an offer for $12.74, and I accepted. It sold internationally. There's no selling fees on Vinted, so I wound up with a profit of $11.24 on that. Next was another long tail item. However, it was another international sale on Vinted. This was from Ralph Lauren Sport, which is an older tag, like that Y2K era. Occasionally I'll find these little tops from that era. The sweaters sell for more. I should stop picking up the tops, but I have a problem. This one was navy blue striped. It had the pony. I had $3.99 into it, which was way too much for this t-shirt. Like I said, it had been listed 167 days, and it sold on an offer on Vinted for $16.10, so I made $12.11 on that one. Okay, then the last time I was at my parents' house, I went through this closet of basically like toys and games and stuff, and I was just pulling stuff out, and I'm working on slowly getting a lot of toys and games and stuff from my parents' house listed. It's a bunch of random stuff. I'm like I am going to tell you right now, you are not going to be expecting so many random things that are going to start selling on my shops. But here's the first one. It was Brain Box, the USA game. Never been opened. It looked like something that like maybe someone had won in like a Secret Santa or like a white elephant. Like, it was a very random board game. I listed it for $10. It sold for my full asking price in 13 days on Poshmark, so I made $7.05. Next was an Etsy sale, Banana Republic. I'm going to tell you right now, I sell so much Y2K on Etsy. I would say that's what I sell the most of on Etsy. You can post anything under vintage that's 20 years or older, and most of these tags have like the date in them. So I think this was like Banana 2004. This was a black full button cardigan. It was a silk blend, and it was an extra small. This had so much attention on it since I've bought it, basically. It did have $6.99 into it. That was a bit ambitious. I had a 15% off sale running on my Etsy. So I originally had it listed for $33, sold for $28.05. I did get the off-site promotion fee on this sale, which doesn't happen all the time, but on some sales it does. So I wound up with a profit of $12.55 on that cardigan. Then we have our last sale, which was another incredibly fast sale, and this was another item I got on Whatnot. This is from Cool. I never find Cool, so I was excited when I saw somebody in this one show I was in. It was a $5 start show, and I was like, $5 for a long sleeve top from Cool. Honestly, like, it was marketed as women's. Honestly, when I got it, I thought it was women's until like I actually looked up the style code and I was like, oh, it's men's. Never would have known. It was their engineered hoodie pullover. It had thumb holes, a hoodie. My average cost of goods from this show was $6.32. And what I will say is the back hem, when I was listing, I realized was like coming undone a little, but this shirt had fantastic comps. So I was like, you know what? I feel like for this little hem, like anyone who's wearing these like hoodies is probably just like, you know, gorp coring. Let's just put it out there. They're just gorp coring. So what I did, I just priced it very competitively at $29.99, and it sold in 2 days for my full asking price on eBay, and I made a profit of $18.05. That one also sold promoted. I promote my whole eBay store at 2%. So that was my last sale of the week, and I will say I had really good sales all week, and then Friday, the day of the Cool sale, was the only day where like it was like silent all day, and I sold that Cool shirt like 10 o'clock at night. So I don't know what was going on Friday. So for the week, I had a total of 24 sales. I will say at the moment, being able to switch my inventory sourcing to Whatnot has been working out incredibly well for me. I'm very thankful for that, because for my physical health, I need to be resting my shoulder and I cannot be outsourcing the way I was for so long. My sales total came out to $628.30 with a profit of $367.30. When I say profit, it's the sales price minus my initial cost of goods and any fees and postage I had to pay on the sale. My sales across the board were a little bit more even this week than they have been other weeks. I had 5 Poshmark sales, 10 eBay, which eBay before this week had been so quiet. I had no Macari. I had 5 Depop, which 5 Depop sales a week might be my record for the year. No Curtsy, 1 Etsy, 3 Vinted, and no Vestiaire. I am very happy with how this overall last week went. My battery is dying, so I have to hurry up. And today, the day I'm filming this, I've had like my best sales day in so long, and I cannot wait for you guys to see it. And I will see you guys in the next video.